I want to know. take our attendance first, please. Ms. Lobley?
Eric Boyer,
Here.
Emily Beeman. Present. Timothy Carney.
Here.
Nicole King. Here. Sandy Cruz.
Here.
Stephen Maud.
Present.
Mary Jo Reinhardt. Here. Melissa Swarba.
Here.
Christopher Wayall.
Present. Okay, thank you, Ms. Lobley. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Okay, we'll move into visitors' comments. The first, Shannon Rager.
Hello. I'm not only a parent of a child at Liberty Bell Elementary, but I am also the current treasurer of the PTA at Liberty Bell. I have served on the PTA at Liberty Bell for the past 3 years. Prior to that, I have served on the board at Hopewell Elementary. I'm here tonight to address a comment on Facebook, which Chris Wayock both liked and commented with 100% to the term PTA mentality, which was used in a demeaning way for the parents of this school district and the PTA board members. I'm here to explain to you that the PTA board mentality is, in fact, one that supports the teachers, students, and faculty. The district's PTAs are made up of intelligent, hardworking, and committed parents. Many have master's degrees and doctorate degrees, just like all of you. We care about what is best for the students, teachers, and staff. Many of us have full-time jobs. This means that for PTA meetings and any function, whether it be before, during, or after school, we must take time off from our jobs. Many times we're using our own personal days, which should be spent with our families. But because we care about this district, we use them on the students. The PTA raises money to ensure that students in the elementary schools have extracurricular activities such as field trips, educational activities and assemblies, scholastic news, school planners, school classroom shirts so that they have safety when out, and other items, enhancing their educational experience. For our teachers, we ensure that they receive a stipend every year. As we all know, teachers spend their own money on the students in this district, money that should be spent on their families. We ensure that any tags left on the giving tree at the holidays are taken care of. We covered the activity costs for those families who are not able to afford anything, ensuring all students can participate regardless of socioeconomic status. We provide gift cards for meals at the holidays for those in need. This year, the PTA budget between Hopewell and Liberty Bell is $120,000. This is money raised from those who directly benefit from it and some of the district's businesses that support us. It is not a tax on residents at large. We raise this money because the district does not cover the cost of some of these opportunities for the students. I think that anyone in this district would agree that having a PTA mentality only benefits the districts. And both at Hopewell and Liberty Bell, we are extremely fortunate to have principals that support us in all of our endeavors. Mr. Wayock, rather than publicly demeaning the members of the PTA board, perhaps you could attend a meeting, event, or even speak with any of us to learn exactly how we function and how much effort we put in for the betterment of our school. We do care about the students and teachers. I only hope that you would have as much concern for them as the PTA board. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rager. Next, Sharu Shattervedi. My apologies for the pronunciation.
It's Charu Chaturvedi. So 2 weeks ago, I spoke about my sixth grader's device failing and how it took 3 days to replace, and it opened my eyes to how we have over 3,000 students, all with devices, and only 2 IT technicians to manage that load. Now, one of those 2 IT people has been promoted to the vacant Director of Technology role, but that still leaves us with just 2 people in total supporting our district's needs. Other districts with a similar number of students and buildings have 5 IT technicians and a Director of Technology. We are terribly understaffed. Most critically, there is no functioning ticket tracking system. The previous system, with years of data, was deleted under the former superintendent with support from the current board majority and replaced by an email form that only students or teachers can fill out. That means no visibility into how many tech issues exist, how often they happen, or how long they take to fix. You cannot solve what you do not measure. Yet our district dismantled the very system meant to track and prevent problems. It's another example of getting rid of something that might clue you into the problems that you, as a board, actually need to solve. By eliminating the system, you can pretend there's no problem at all. However, the consequences of these cuts are felt every day by a number of students. Frozen screens, login failures, lost work, and teachers wasting instructional time troubleshooting. At the high school level, it's worse, impacting AP exams, Keystone tests, and SATs, hurting students' scores and forcing them to retake the test at their own cost. You may be surprised this is happening, but again, with no ticket tracking system, how would you know? Students now call the system in place a black hole. They've stopped reporting problems because they don't actually expect any help. That's not just a technology failure, it's a failure of trust. This decline began in 2022 when the same board majority allowed IT staff positions to be cut, maintenance licenses to lapse, and deleted oversight systems, all to save money. Due to all these great cost savings, you proposed giving our former superintendent a raise and approved richer health benefits. In the last few months, you moved very quickly and spent over $500,000 to give him a golden parachute just to get rid of him and the problems he left us with. It was reported today in the morning call that at least $200,000 more in legal fees has been spent on items related to those legal issues. While you decided to provide that superintendent with a glowing review, our students from K to 12 continue to pay the price for these short-sighted decisions. What we need now is actual leadership and urgency, not more silence. You need to ask questions, solve these problems, and support efforts to 1, reinstate a proper tech ticketing system, 2, rebuild the IT team and support the needs of our students and staff, 3, create a rapid response process for testing disruptions, and 4, hold regular, public, technology-focused discussions, not just lumped into education meetings. This is about competence and priorities. Technology is not a luxury or a cost to cut. It's the infrastructure of learning. Our students deserve reliable tools, responsive support, and a board that values accountability over excuses. As a district, we can't even talk seriously about AI policy or how to prepare our kids for the evolving future if we are stuck just trying to get basic tech infrastructure working again. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cheddaretti. Next up is Pat D'Amico.
Thank you. My name is Pat D'Amico. I'm a parent of a senior, and I'm obviously no stranger to the board here. I was thrilled to see the Architectural Design Services for High School feasibility study on tonight's agenda for approval. For the past 4 years, while our son has been a student here, and for the years before he was even in the high school, my wife and I, amongst many others, have come before this board numerous times to ask that the board and the district finally address the need for an update to the high school auditorium. Many came before us with the same request. This need has been brought before this board for decades, and due to other funding needs and priorities, has been delayed over and over. If you are not aware, the need for an auditorium update surpassed critical years ago. I could share the detailed situations with lighting, seating, sound, stage, general appearance, but suffice it to say that the district now needs to address an issue that has lingered for years. The most important thing I'd like to share tonight is why. Why is this important to the district? First, keep in mind, outside of the recently renovated athletic field, the auditorium is where the largest number of district and non-district visitors attend events. Additionally, the auditorium likely hosts the largest number of unique visitors. While the athletic field primarily holds athletic events, the auditorium hosts in-school and after-school student events, classes, college presentations, theater performances, vocal concerts, band and orchestra concerts, including regional concerts, amongst many other events where visitors' only impression of the district is the auditorium. What you may not know is that when you look at just the music and theater performances alone, we are talking about over 400 unique Southern Lehigh students each and every single year that perform there. It's not just the students in the high school, but the middle and intermediate schools as well. The limitations of the auditorium have negative consequences beyond just visitor observations and actually negatively impact the students that perform in it. With too many examples to share in this setting, I'll share one that is known. The negative impact it has on our students being competitive for the Freddie Awards. The written feedback from the Freddie judges annotated the points deductions due to poor acoustics, sound equipment, and microphone issues. No matter how gifted and talented our students and staff are, the limitations of the setting they perform in has a significant impact on the way in which performances are conducted, viewed, and evaluated, and is proven to be a detriment. Just as we value our student athletes, prioritizing giving them a venue where they can be as competitive as possible, The same should hold true for the students whose competitive field is, in fact, the auditorium. While our son will graduate this year and certainly not benefit from an auditorium upgrade, we certainly hope for the sake of current and future students that you will not only approve the feasibility study, but also commit to finally following through on promises that have gone unfulfilled for decades. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That concludes our community comments. All right, item 3, minutes. We have A and B. If you want to give an overview of the executive sessions, please.
Yes, I'd be happy to. Yeah, on October 13th, the full board met prior to the meeting to discuss personnel items. The full board also met in an executive session during the meeting to discuss personnel items and board governance. And the full board met this evening prior to the meeting to discuss personnel and board governance.
Thank you. Item B, approval of the board meeting minutes for October 13th, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Second. Discussion, comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Okay, item 4, superintendent. We'll start with superintendent updates. We have students Sarah and Yvonne will be coming up for our updates. Thank you, ladies.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Sarah Tapler, and I'm currently a sophomore at Southern Lehigh High School. I'm a teen counselor. I'm a part of the club serving our seniors. I run track and field in the winter and spring, and I'm a former class president. Thank you for allowing us the time today to give our presentations. Each year, members of the senior class who have previously taken the PSAT are eligible to receive a scholarship through the National Merit Scholarship Program. This year, 8 students were recognized and commended on their tests. Congratulations to Matthew Ong, Patrick D'Amico, Christian Hoffman, Chloe Posevec, Ferris Smith, Milo Smith, Sage Smith, and Liv Spence. A special recognition goes to Yandy Wen, who was named a semi-finalist and will have the opportunity to compete for a scholarship. Each year, the counseling department schedules college visits throughout the school year. This allows our seniors and future college students the opportunity to meet with college admission officers. This month, representatives from Kutztown and DeSales University visited our school for our instant decision days. Students who apply and meet all the requirements have the opportunity to meet with the representative and may be offered an instant acceptance into the school. This past weekend, the fall play, Honeymoon at Graveside Manor, was held by the theater department. It was led by the newly hired director, Janelle Castrignano, and assistant director, Melissa Miller. On Wednesday, before the play, the senior citizen dinner was hosted by Key Club, and members of our Serving Our Seniors Club had made handwritten cards for those in attendance. We started our 2025-2026 homecoming events with a fun-filled Spirit Week. Each day we had a theme, including Country vs. Country Club Day, Adam Sandler Day, and Wear Your Homecoming Shirt Day. We ended the week with our annual pep rally and Friday night tailgate and football game, where we were once again victorious. The homecoming dance on Saturday was well attended and a lot of fun. We want to thank all the students and staff who participated and attended the events. This year for homecoming, the Queen and King courts, with Sage Smith being queen and Luke Kozensky as king, raised over $70,000 that have gone to various charities. Some of these charities include Women in STEM, Heart to Heart, Morgan's Message, and Sassy Massey. This is the largest amount of money that has ever been raised at Southern Lehigh. Not only was this event extremely successful for raising money and awareness, but it was also a highlight of the year for many students. I know that myself and others had a very nice time socializing and dancing with friends. We are excited for our next upcoming event. The annual SLHS Powder Puff game will be held on Wednesday, November 12th, starting at 6 p.m. While our fall sports regular season has ended, we are excited to all the teams that have made it to either states or district championships. This season, our boys cross country finished in 3rd and our girls finished in 5th. We will have 5 athletes going to states and Hershey on November 1st. In golf, Lexi Miller finished 10th in the PIAA state championship, and our girls tennis team competed as Colonial League runner-ups. Our competition cheer team will compete this Wednesday at the Colonial League Championships. Additionally, our field hockey, boys and girls soccer, girls volleyball, and our football team will all compete in district games this week. Looking ahead, the first marking period is coming to an end on the 30th, and report cards will be released on November 7th. Following this, parent-teacher conferences will be held on November 25th from 5 to 8 p.m. If students need any help with any schoolwork, there are posters with QR codes hung up around the school to sign up for tutoring from National Honor Society students. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Yvonne Camel. I'm a senior here at Southern Lehigh High School, and I'm honored to have the privilege of representing the student body. Throughout my time here, I have participated in many activities in the school. I am the swim team manager, co-president of Art and Literature Club, and member of Fellowship for Christian Athletes, a teen counselor, and a part of Principal Advisory Council. And I also had the opportunity to be a part of the subcommittee in renovating the Media Center. Now, some of you may be wondering, what is this Principal Advisory Council? So the Principal Advisory Council is made up of a diverse group of representatives from students around the school, from 9th to 12th grade. We meet once every quarter to discuss current events happening in the school and share perspectives about what we think is going on. Mr. Miller, Mrs. Petronio, and Mr. McConnell really encourage us to speak openly and think collaboratively. Our first meeting actually is for the 2025-2026 school year is this Friday. And what I love about being a part of the Principal Advisory Council, other than the pizza, thank you, Mr. Miller, it's not that we just focus on improving the school, but I've made friendships with people I wouldn't have ever made if I was not a part of this council. So that is something I truly appreciate. And another exciting event that really shows our community spirit was the Pink Out volleyball game. Leading up to the game, t-shirts were sold, and during halftime, there was a raffle with gift baskets and prizes. This year alone, the girls' volleyball team raised over $12,000, which will be split between Sassy Massey and the Side Out Foundation. Over the past 17 years of hosting the Pink Out, Southern Lehigh has raised more than $138,000 for charity. That is a true reflection of our school's heart. I also want to take a moment to talk about our new media center, which has become one of my favorite places personally in the building. The updates have made such a difference. The improved lighting, the expanded space, the new modernized books, and just the simple aesthetic. They have really made an impact. I personally used the media center so many times. Coming here every Thursday after school with the after-school Bible study, teen counseling, we prepare lessons in here. For English, I prepared a speech in here. So it's such a great collaborative space. And what makes it even more special is the atmosphere that Mrs. Faust has created. Sometimes it's the small things, the scented bookmarks, writing our favorite candy on the whiteboard, or just taking a mint, the simple things that make us smile. And these things led us to believe that helps us remember that learning can be joyful. The new library even brings back the same feelings I felt in middle school and elementary school in libraries. Although I didn't attend elementary school and intermediate school at Southern Lehigh, it gives me the same sense of comfort and happiness that libraries are meant to inspire. Being involved with all of these projects has given me a new sense of community, not just within the school, but in how I see myself contributing to it. Each experience has shown me and many others how much can be accomplished when people come together with purpose and creativity and care. Thank you.
Yvonne. Sarah, thank you very much. I did have one quick question, Yvonne, regarding the space. Since we have not been here during school hours, I had been here during construction, and now I thought maybe you could describe to the folks here that haven't been here what this particular area is like when our mugs aren't here.
So I think this area is usually a collaborative space. There's tables here and chairs that we can move around, and because for teen counseling we come in here, so we move the tables, we sit together and we talk. This is usually there's the little couch cushions and stuff over there. That's also another collaborative space. There's kind of the same. The tables are just moved that way, so everybody's just staring over here. But it's there's usually more. It's a collaborative space more. It's more accessible to hey, what are you doing over there and stuff like that. But yeah.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yep.
Okay. Well done.
Yes.
We'll move into district updates. Dr. Trinkle.
Yes, I wanted to thank you for that report. That is amazing.
It's amazing to hear that our students are maximizing and utilizing this space. There will be a video that our film team and our students in our high school will be creating for the website. It's in current production. So it's not finalized yet, but it is in production and they are working on it. And Dr. Solometto and I were able to see them last week and thank them for the last video that they created to kind of kick off our school year, which was a pretty amazing experience. They shared their work with us. It was super talented individuals in that class. So we want to thank them, and that's coming soon. I will certainly not be able to overshare in anything that you have already stated. Thank you for all of the updates. We certainly have a talented group of students in our school community. Thank you for highlighting that. I wanted to take a moment and acknowledge the support and guidance received through Kingspry over the past few years. While the district is, planning to move in a different direction, we thank Attorney Freund and his team for partnering with us in the last few years. We're appreciative of the relationship and the guidance you've provided us during that time. I wanted to highlight 3 proposals tonight on the agenda, and I wanted to kind of explain why and take a moment to share. During the first week of September, we did put out an RFP to select firms, as Kingspry would no longer be providing services beginning in November. Administration and the board were formally notified of this. I believe it was September 8th. And an update was provided to the board the week of September 15th regarding our process. Select firms were to provide interest to us no later than November or October 1st for our review. And we had the benefit of recently interviewing 5 firms not 2.5 years ago. Based on that information, we brought back one that we were highly interested in and sent out an RFP to select firms. The board was updated again on September 29th, noting that 2 of the 3 firms responded and shared the plans to interview such firms on the 13th. During the week of October 6th, the board was provided detailed information regarding both firms for review in preparation for the 13th interview process. While I had one discussion regarding this process, no other feedback or input was offered at that time. So I want to thank the board for supporting the process to identify a new solicitor. I also want to thank the board for the participation in the interview process. I know time is at a premium for our board members to come early, so I appreciate that. At that time, we had an opportunity to have a robust discussion, both as a group and individually, to offer feedback regarding that process. And universally, it was agreed at that time that Whistler Pearlstein would be moved forward. In our search for a new solicitor, we were focused on identifying a firm that met our needs, and Whistler Pearlstein was able to do that for us at that time. And we're very lucky to have that opportunity. We're very fortunate to have Attorney Barbetta here this evening to represent Whistler Pearlstein, so thank you. Also wanted to highlight another item on the agenda. And a request was made at the last board meeting for a review of compensation due to a systemic concern. You'll see that proposal as well through Whistler Pearlstein on the agenda. The correct handout is on the table over there by Ms. Lobley. And we're asking to partner with Whistler Pearlstein in that process, and that item as such is on the agenda. Both proposals, the board was notified both during the week of the 13th and the 20th. For an update. Finally, you'll see one more special counsel agreement with Kingspry. That is to allow administration to partner and maintain and receive support with ongoing projects while services are transitioned. So that's just, we've done the same thing in experiences past where we're able to kind of work through ongoing matters and not lose support and service. So I just wanted to provide an update to all as to why there's 3 proposals on the agenda tonight. That's my update.
Thank you, Dr. Trinkle. We'll move into item B. We have, item C, sorry about that. Department of Education Resolution, e-signature authorization. We have a motion to approve Dr. Trinkle to e-sign within the Pennsylvania Department of Education systems as noted in the attached resolution. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, did you get that, Ms. Lobley? Okay. Comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, that motion carries. Okay, we don't have anything in special education or technology at this point. Business and finance. Beg pardon? Oh, sorry about that. Yep. Curriculum, we have letter A, arts and letters for K through 6 ELA. Have a motion to approve this three-year adoption.
Second.
Second.
Okay. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And as I said previously, 6, 7, we are bypassing. Number 8, business and finance. I'd like to take A, B, and C together, please.
Motion.
Second.
Okay. Comments or questions? A through C.
I have a financial question, but I don't know where it fits in. Lou, let me know. I figured someplace in here would be appropriate.
Sure. Yep, comments, questions, yep, no worries, yep.
So I asked this at LCTI. Stephen heard me ask it up there. I'm seeing some districts, including Parkland, pausing payments to charter schools. And I'm just wondering about the financial impact to Southern Lehigh and perhaps the IU of Pennsylvania and federal budget issues. Without getting into politics,
Yeah.
I'm just worried about finances.
Yeah, no, that's fine, and that's pretty much where I'm looking at. This is a conversation that I've had with colleagues across the valley. We've been talking about it, seems month to month, while everyone's waiting for the state to pass the budget. Some districts actually receive a larger percentage of state aid than we do. We had a $78 million budget. We receive about 20% in state aid, or $16 million. $62 million of our budget is actually funded through the local, and most of that comes from property taxes. We're very fortunate that we have very good collection rates, and we have a lot of citizenry who have taken the ability to pay the tax up front and take the 2% discount. So currently, we're sitting at 89% collected in Upper Saucon, 92% collected in Lower Milford, and 80% collected in Coopersburg. So combined, that's about $45.4 million that we've pulled in the first 2 months of school, which helps our overall bottom line when I'm looking at cash management and a drawdown schedule. Some districts have the ability to look at tax anticipation notes if they feel they're going to have a shortfall. We do not feel that we are there. I've actually projected out closer to January, February before I'd be getting really concerned. I'm, again, hopeful that that will be coming in, but roughly if you figure it's about 1.6 mil per month coming of state aid monies. So at this point, we really don't have that issue, and that's why we chose not to recommend to the board to hold any of the payments to charter. We'd have to make the payments up anyway. What I did do is take advantage of holding back the PSERS payment that was not required because of the state of the budget, and that was about roughly 1.2 million that we were able to instead hold on to and invest. So I hope that kind of gives you a little more clarity to where we are. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Okay, now we have items D, E, and F. I'd like to group those.
Could we take those separately?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so item D, appointment of solicitor. This is for the Whistler Pearlstein appointment.
Motion?
Second.
Comments, questions?
Yeah, on this one, I intend to vote yes. I've worked with Mr. Barbetta for a few years, who's here representing Whistler Pearlstein tonight, and had a great experience, so, looking forward to working with him again. And I'm glad that Dr. Trinkle clarified in her superintendent update. I just wanted to, as a matter of public communication, this was discussed both at public board meetings and in closed board meetings, the need for a new board solicitor, and that the process being an RFP, a request for proposal. So just for the sake of public transparency, I wanted to reiterate what Dr. Trinkle said and also clarify that this was not a public request for proposal, as typically appears on that section of our school website, on our district website. It was a private invitation-only process to which a few firms, 1, 2, 3 firms, were invited. All of the firms that the district has been successfully working with in the past 6 months, and with whom the district intends to continue working with, were not all invited to apply. I'm not sure, not going to go into details. I'm not sure how that decision was made or how which firms were going to be invited were determined, but I just wanted to transparently communicate that with the community, since it was discussed publicly at multiple public board meetings, and it didn't follow the typical process that had been discussed. I just want to make that clear. My only additional comment or concern actually is we will, after approving, I assume Whistler Pearlstein will be approved tonight. I'll vote yes. After approving Whistler Pearlstein as our board solicitor, we will be a district and a board that is working with 4 different firms for legal services over the course of the next year. And I have concerns about the fiscal efficiency of that arrangement. I hope that we can look at better understanding that interplay and the fiscal efficiencies of our legal expenditures going forward, but I just wanted to make that comment tonight.
Did you reach out at any time? We got way in advance notice that we were going to get a new solicitor, so did you reach out to Karen at all, Dr. Trinkle at all, and suggest who you wanted to be the attorney?
It was, my understanding was, as a board member, that, and I was not the only board member who thought it was going to be a public RFP. In fact, I wasn't the only board member who thought the process was public until after it has concluded. But so what I did do was, during the interview process for these firms, and I think you were there for that process, I can't recall, but I believe you were, I did ask why so few firms had applied and why so few firms were being interviewed at that session. We only interviewed 2. And at the time, and I asked, if we had reached out to our current firms we were currently working with and asked them why they hadn't in that session. And I think it was a matter of, Dr. Trinkle explained that we had worked with many firms in general. I believe that was, and I recall her statement being that, we can only work with what's presented before us this evening. And so I still was not aware that it was not a public RFP at that time, so I didn't see a need to reach out and ask that question or express that I thought it should be a public RFP.
So for all the weeks, the month that we knew about it, you didn't decide to reach out and tell her who you wanted to be a solicitor? You just waited till we were deciding on who she brought forward after it was already done? I just wanted to clarify. You did not reach out at all?
I didn't reach out because I didn't think it was necessary, because I wasn't aware. Were you aware that it was invitation only?
Yes.
You were. Who made you aware of that? Mr. Carney, I saw your reaction because I'm looking that way. Mr. Carney, were you aware that it was invitation
Because
only?
I asked questions.
Hold on. Mr. Carney, were you aware that it was invitation only?
Do you know you can call the superintendent and ask questions? Did you know that? I think you did.
This is
It's
breaking
silly,
down.
But
I don't-
basically, you never came forward for a whole month. You waited till the very last minute, and then you brought up your concerns.
Nicole,
and
this
that's
is-
really not how it works.
This
But
is not
thanks.
a conversation worth having. You have 2 more meetings on the board. We don't need to get into this. However,
Well,
from-
you wanted transparency. I like transparency too.
Okay.
It's good.
I was not aware that this was invitation only, and you were. So that's a problem with board communication. That's 1. 2, the reason
You want to talk about board communication, Emily? You really want to get into it?
Ladies, please.
not
One at a
not-
time, and then we'll wrap up.
Sure.
Okay?
But to answer Ms. King's question, the reason I didn't reach out and tell the superintendent who I thought should be invited to apply for interviewing for solicitor was because I thought, as had been done in the past with every board solicitor RFP, as had been discussed at public meetings, you can roll the tape, a public RFP was discussed. I received no information or indication that it was going to be invitation only. From Mr. Carney's reaction, and I know he's not going to get into it because we've talked about this enough, but I assume he also was not aware, and I know other board members were not aware that this was not a public RFP. And I'm sorry, Mr. Barbetta, no, like Whistler Pearlstein is very well equipped. I think you're capable of representing us well. I am simply stating that this was not a public RFP. And the reason I didn't reach out was because I thought it would have been listed publicly on the website as every other RFP is and was. So if you had inside information, then I would like to explore how we as a board can better communicate that. And actually, I will ask this question behind closed doors, and I will ask now that I know. I wasn't aware until the past week that it was private, but I will now ask privately who made that decision and how the firms were, decided upon and invited. So I will ask that question now that I'm informed.
Well, I
Thank
appreciate
you, Ms.
your
Gaynor.
transparency now. I wish that there was transparency when you became president last year and kept us in the dark for months and months and months. And I think everyone should probably know the catalyst of why we're paying so much money out in law fees began in February 2025. So you should probably look at those meetings and figure out why that is.
It is
Okay, Ms.
because,
King,
wait,
thank
no,
you.
I'm going to answer that.
Uh,
I'm going to answer that. It is because our school policy says when an employee files a complaint for harassment, discrimination, and retaliation, the board president must, and fraud, the board president must investigate.
No.
And that is why
The board policy does not state that.
It does.
It does not.
It does.
It does
Fraud
not.
policy, I forget the
It
number.
can be reported to the board
Okay.
president.
Fine.
It does
We are
not.
going
There's no
to
statement of
stop
that.
the
I'm going
banter.
to call the question. Call the question.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That motion carries.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Counselor. Okay, getting back on the road here. We are now at, letter E, appointment of special counsel. There's a motion to approve King, Spry, Herman, Freund, and Fowl LLC as special counsel effective November 1st through June 30 for outstanding items beyond their expiration on November 1st.
Motion?
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Okay, we have one opposed. That motion carries. Letter F, District Employee Compensation Analysis. This is a motion to approve Whistler Pearlstein LLP to conduct a district employee compensation analysis at the request of the board in accordance with the hourly rates stated as per attached. And again, as Dr. Trinkle mentioned, they are up at Ms. Lobley's desk if you prefer to see one in person. So I have a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Okay, support services, number 9. I would like to group A through C. Do I have a motion for that?
Absolutely. Motion over here.
Second.
Thank you. Second, great. Comments, questions? All in favor?
I just want to say, just
Oh.
in terms of, I know there's been a lot of talk in regards to auditorium and everything else, so everything that Mr. D'Amico and everybody else has said, in my tenure up here on the board and all the things that I've heard throughout the time in the building here, both as a student and as a coach and a volunteer here in the district, I am excited for moving forward on the auditorium. It is definitely something very much overdue, long due, so looking forward to another good project. Hopefully that will come out just as nice as this, minus the green lights over there.
Yeah, I second that. Mr. Boyer, I second that. Your green lights.
I'm not gonna let those green lights go.
You know, and just in addition to that, I think everybody on the board and the administration is excited and has been interested in doing this. There were priorities, facilities-wise, over the years that we had to hit as a priority. We've, put quite some time into putting a priority together for those activities. And now we're at the point where, we're able to really focus on this. And I think everybody, if you see the output of the effort here in this particular room, you will be, I would say, just as impressed once we get further along in this process with the analysis. Okay, any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
I had a question, sorry, that I just for the sake of the community. One is with the high school auditorium project and that feasibility study. If we tackle that project, and this is a fiscal question, is that something that we will be looking to go out to bond to complete that project?
Yeah, let me tackle that. That's the point of the feasibility, because one of the things that I stress is looking at buildings and facilities holistically. So not just the actual area where the auditorium is currently situated, looking at the rooms adjacent, looking above, below, and incorporating engineering into that analysis and study to see that we can do, really good things with the space. And one of the things is, administratively, I feel it's undersized. So I would certainly like to look at picking up seating, much like when we looked at the stadium. One of the other things that I've looked at when I've done facility walkthroughs is the area where the music band currently resides. Is they were just put into a space. It used to be the cafeteria. So the space wasn't necessarily designed for that activity. So I'm looking a little more holistically, fine performing arts. If we're going to look at the space, let's do it right. Because just like this space, once you're complete, you're looking at that space as is for probably the next 30 to 40 years. Since it has such a long impact, we're probably going to be looking at bonding. And I will not know until I start seeing numbers. And the architects are teaming up, with EI Engineering, who is currently architect of record for the district, and to look at robotics, look at STEM, look at that area. And the reason why I put those two together is on this project, they had a different engineering firm. EI has a very good handle on the building, and we're in the middle of phases of HVAC work. So the one thing that I do not want to see happen is to have HVAC work done in that area only to be undone and changed based on the changing need for the space. But when I look at auditoriums, and I've previously been involved in renovation of two, a high school and a middle school. One of the things I see is the stage is undersized. I see, battens, rigging, lighting, sound system, lighting. Those are all major components of that type of project. And when you start really looking at getting the space the way it needs to be, you're probably talking some dollars. And one of the things that we tied in is when we were talking about the facility, long-range facility planning, the fact that we're in such a better position to go out and bond for a particular project. So until they come back, because they're the professionals, I won't know, but my estimation is that's not something we're going to be pulling out of capital reserve. That'll be something that would be a bonded project.
Yeah, thank you. And the timing of our bonds, I know you've explained before, allows for that, just so the community knows, because we are facing a lot of, financial hurdles with full day K and hiring staffing for that, and moving
100%.
buildings, and also our healthcare is are slated to go up. I think it was just announced in the past week or two, 25%?
21%.
21, thank you, 21%.
Yep.
So there are a lot of financial hurdles to overcome.
Yeah.
And this is not something that this would be a
This will
bond
not
payment.
impact
This
the
wouldn't.
the
That was
annual
not going to
budget.
impact our annual budgeting at all. Is what I wanted to communicate.
Correct.
Other than the
servicing the debt.
servicing the debt, which we have other debt expiring, and hopefully we can overlap that
Right,
time.
and another reason why it just makes all the sense in the world is that's going to be a space that's going to be utilized for many years to come.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So
I'm in
you'll
favor
have
of it.
residents coming in that'll get that benefit in the future that
Yeah.
will also have a piece of paying for it.
It's just when we think about paying for it in these, as Mr. Carney even mentioned, these fiscal times, it's,
good
sounds.
comments.
The only
Thank
other
you.
question I had was if you could, and I'm not sure, this is probably you, Mr. Pepe, although I'll defer to Dr. Trinkle, just for the sake of the community, we when you see radon mitigation services on an agenda,
Yeah, I
I
can
know I,
take
as a
care of that.
parent, like to have some sort of explanation of that. Could we just give another, I know you've given one in the past, but could we just give a brief overview of the history of that, what it is,
Yep.
and what's going on, just so parents, when they see radon on an agenda, and I'm one of them, I have a, we know what's going on.
So the district has been very forward-thinking as far as doing radon testing because it's not required for school districts in Pennsylvania. The district has been on about a 5-year schedule, which is a recommended schedule if you are going to test. We did, in fact, do testing this year, and of the testing of the 5 schools, we had 2 schools that came back with a couple of rooms that were over the acceptable level. The acceptable level is, they measure in picocuries. It's 4 picocuries per liter. And anything below that is deemed to be acceptable. Anything above that is considered you need to look at remediation. So at the high school, we had 1 room that came back that was higher. It was at a 5. So even though it is only 1 over the 4, it's still over the 4. We had 2 rooms at the middle school. 1 came back on the retest at 10.4, which was actually higher than the original test, and the other one came back at 7.3.
You said 10.4?
10.4 and 7.3. Those findings are on our website. All of the testing that we've done, we've put on the website, just like with the lead testing.
Okay. And if the community wanted to look at that, where would they look?
Yep. And they would go right on to the district website under support services, and there's a box on the left-hand side that says right on testing.
Thanks.
But I do want to share from the report that we received from the certified health physicist. This stuff is like really detailed. But they said these levels do not pose an immediate health risk, but remedial action should be taken in the next year. We are actually already slated. Our facility director has been on that, and I believe he's got that scheduled for the November break, right, for the Thanksgiving break. So we're well ahead of it, and we're making sure that we put in the devices that they say need to be in. And it's much like in a home. It's actually less of an issue in schools because you don't have a 100% occupancy as you do with the home. So that's where we're at, and that's where you can find that information.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I think next time that should be under the comments and questions, but that's okay.
Yeah, I missed that, Mr.
Yeah.
Carney. I leaned over to
Okay.
Tim and I said,
Yeah.
Tim, did we have a motion yet? Because I was looking ahead, and he said, I have no
Oh,
idea, Emily.
gotcha.
So, Mr. Mon, I tried, but we
That's
just
okay.
figured I'd wait and hope there
Yep.
was still a motion to come.
All
Thanks.
right, thanks. Now we'll move into item 10, human resources. Have item A, human resources report. Did you take care of that,
Mr. Mon.
Trinkle?
Yeah, on the HR report, if we could just separate item IC.
Okay,
IC.
yeah.
IC. You could take the rest of them together, just remove IC.
Yeah.
Is it I?
I.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
One.
Yeah, I got you.
1C.
Under appointments, right? Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Let me just pull that up.
It's 1C. My Whitehall education.
Yep.
Can't read.
Okay, so we will amend that to item A less number 1C. Do I have a
You could
motion?
just abstain on that.
Second.
Okay. Comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Okay, item 1C of that same section. Do I have
Motion.
motion and second? Thank you. Comments, questions?
I'm just going to make a comment,
Sure.
not to delay things. The
Yep.
reason of that
Yep.
Roman numeral 1C is me. So I'm abstaining, and I appreciate the board
Yep.
was in agreement to pull out Roman numeral 1C
Yep.
on my behalf.
And then if you would see the solicitor for an abstention form after, that would be great. Thank you
My
for,
form.
okay, great. Thank you for bringing that up. I figured it was up to you to talk about that, so thank you. So item 1C, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Abstention. One abstention. That motion carries.
Thank you all for the 1C.
All right, item B, policy, second reading.
Can I make a motion for everything except policy 011, but the others make a motion to approve? Somehow I want to discuss 0.
Okay. All right, so we'll break out item B, policy, second reading. We have policy 815, 628,
815.1 grouped together.
Motion?
Second.
Comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. And then we have policy B, second reading, policy 011.
I'll make a motion, but then I have discussion. on it.
Okay. Second, do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Okay. Comments, questions? Mr. Carney?
Yeah, and I apologize, I totally missed it. We did the first reading. I was confused with some other things that were on the agenda. There's a line in there that says, respect the role of the chair in the orderly process of the meeting. And I believe I have respected the chair, and I will respect the chair. I'm not debating the worthiness of that. However, most districts I looked at do not have that line added. It looks like it's based on PSBA principles and board governance, which also doesn't have that line. While I understand that the chair has special responsibilities that need to be respected, I also think that in order to have an orderly process, all members' roles should be shown and receive respect. After all, we don't have a line that says the president needs to show respect to board members in the orderly process of the meeting. It also seems to be already covered in a couple of places, including the line right above it, where it says adhere to rules and procedures for board operations, since that would include the board chair's role in operations. Also under lead responsibly, it states that we will work together with civility and cooperation, and mentions respect. And under communicate clearly, it states promote open, honest, and respectful dialogue among the board. So there's 3 places where I felt it was already covered. And so I understand why it's there, but I'm questioning if other districts don't have it, and it's repeated 3 other places. That's where I'm coming from.
Do we have any other comments? Okay, this is, remind you, it's a second reading, so. All right. Yep, we'll vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Opposed?
Sorry?
No.
No.
2 opposed. Ms. Lobley?
And again, I'm still going to respect the chair. That's not the question. That's not why I'm opposing.
That's good. I can use
And-
my
and-
Rodney Dangerfield tie here. and-
No.
And the same, Mr. Carney said it succinctly. So I voted the same way for many of the same reasons. I just wanted to note that I had intended to vote. I didn't want to break this vote apart further, but I would hope that in the future, could we please list these policies separately so that we don't have to make a motion to remove, if we're approving policies like this in the future. So we don't have to make a motion to approve like one policy, but not another. I had intended, I'm not going to redo this, but I had intended to vote no to the prior chunking, but, got confused on which number you were pulling out. So my intended vote, even though I was a yes previously to the prior chunk, was going to be a no.
Have we
But
been breaking out policy by individual ones in the past?
yeah, because you don't,
group
instead
them.
of, that way
To
we
my-
can
to my
discuss
knowledge,
each
we
one of them.
didn't do that, but
Yeah.
I'm
just saying, that's
fine
fine.
with that. I mean, it's not my decision. It's
Yeah,
the
we- I-
board's decision,
Clear.
but
I think it was clear cut.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm impressed with administration that we are moving forward with the revision of our policies and repetition. Repetition is great. Hear it over and over for us to learn to operate and function properly and efficiently. Thank you.
thank you. That's it for that. Committee reports. What committee reports do we have?
I had a question and then LCTI. A question for the Education and Tech Committee. I don't know if I should ask this here as part of a committee report or wait till later. Does it matter?
Go ahead.
I can ask it now. Someone had asked me from the community, so I figured I'd ask at public meeting. I know the Ed Committee had dates set for the school year through June, with the exception of possibly December and April. It's the first Monday of each month at 4:30. I didn't know if the tech committee set dates, or I'm just wondering, is the plan to keep the education committee schedule, just for my own knowledge and for the people that asked?
I'll just jump in if I can.
Yeah.
That's great, Mr. Carney, and I think that's you, Mr. Boyer, and myself, and Dr. Trinkle, and Dr. Solomito, and Mr. Stolgis could communicate on best path forward. Education Committee, you did an awesome job of having those dates forward thinking, and maybe we can align with that, but I think that's a conversation for the committee and the administrators involved. So I think it would pose to Dr. Trinkle if you could have that as an action item and circle back with us, and then we can solidify those dates. Thank you.
And then as far as LCTI, there was a great student presentation by Bailyn Klein, a senior at Southern Lehigh in LCTI. She's early childhood education with a dual enrollment at L-Tri-C. There was also discussion about LCTI's adult education classes and a future drone certification, among other things. I'm on the nomination committee to help with the December JOC elections for president and vice president. Our next LCTI meeting will be Monday, November 24th, which is the same night as a Southern Lehigh School Board meeting, so I'll have to decide which meeting I'm attending that night. Also not discussed at LCTI, but related, I saw state legislation that went to the governor to sign. The legislation will allow veterans who have service experience in specific occupational areas to allocate their experience towards the needed credits for CTE Instructional 1 certification. And just a reminder that LCTI's open house is November 20th. If you sign up early and show up, you get a free t-shirt and an entry for an iPad.
I just want to add to that my appreciation and how impressed I was with Balin's student representative report at LCTI. She did a great job, and when I met her, was impressed with everything she was involved in and her positive attitude and sense of accomplishment. So we will see at some point if she's part of our student representative report here. We talked about that a little bit, and it may happen soon, but all of those students that give reports at these venues, whether it be Southern Lehigh or LCTI, do such a great job, very professional, articulate, informative, and positive. So I just want to acknowledge all of the students and their time at the microphone. I think it's vital that we hear it, and it gives us some good insight on what our real charter is here as a school board. So thank you to all those who participate now and in the future. All right, other committee reports. Anybody? I think we're good. Okay, for your information, we have conferences. Okay, but we have, I just was going to, I'm sorry, yes, you're right. So as committee reports, any new business? Anybody? Okay. Item 13, other business. Does anyone have anything for other business?
I always have other business. October 22nd, I attended the community night for the fall production. Thank you, food staffs and servers. Two gentlemen walking from the auditorium mentioned how clean the school was. So I passed that on to the district administration and custodial and the principal the other day. The show was great, and I'm already looking forward to Little Shop of Horrors, March 4th through the 8th. 2 days last week, my wife went in to teach medical stitching in Mrs. Sirfoss's science class. My wife loved it, and I just want to thank the teacher for the opportunity, and I hear that it might show up in some yearbook photos. As a teacher that was on the receiving end of help from PTAs, I just want to thank the work of PTA volunteers. 3 upcoming dates. National First Responders Day is tomorrow. Thank you all who serve in those roles, especially as they pertain to our schools and community, and any type of partnership involvement that you have with our district, keeping our schools safe. Don't forget to turn your clocks back an hour on Sunday. And next Tuesday is Election Day. I know some candidates are in the room. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but I do encourage everybody to vote.
I just
Go ahead, yep.
Oh,
Sorry, I didn't see it.
I just had something. I've been on a big kick in regards to paying tribute to folks that are in the district, whether you work here, coach here, but nobody brought it up. I'm going to bring it up. The person's in the room tonight. They're probably going to cower a little bit, maybe slap me around a little bit later when I say this, but I just want to congratulate Coach Greenwald, or Matt Greenwald, or Greeny, depending on context. For those of you who don't know, he is being nominated into the Lehigh Valley Golf Hall of Fame. That'll be this Wednesday night. So as a student of Greeny, as a athlete under him, assistant coach, and as a friend, I just want to say congratulations. Very well accomplished it, and very overdue. So, thank you.
Thank you,
Oh,
Mr.
really?
Boyer.
Oh, I'll take care of it for you.
Okay, just in closing, I would reiterate Dr. Trinkle's appreciation and acknowledgement of everybody involved in upgrading this facility and all the hard work of the administration for everything they are doing on a regular basis. And I'll reiterate Mr. Greenwald's accolades. I didn't know, so congratulations. And thank you. Anybody else?
I'm going to put out an advertisement.
Okay.
So we, board members weekly, we receive through Pennsylvania School Board Association, we get newsletters constantly updating us, informing us, and it really is a nice bathroom read. And there was something that caught my attention that Upper Perkiomen was doing with students who want to go into education, how they're partnered with a university nearby, and I thought that's so awesome. The students are in their high school throughout the day, and then they work so they can be out in the field because they want to become teachers. And I brought this up, I called Dr. Trinkle, and I'm proud to say that it's happening here, and I didn't know that. I didn't know our own high school were partnered with Kutztown University for those students who want to go into the profession of teaching, how that partnership is there so that students can take advantage and kind of get out in the field. There's way more details than I'm giving it, but it was that aha moment when I saw Upper Perkiomen's doing it, and I'm proud that we're doing it and we've been doing it. And little things like that sometimes don't get recognized. So that's my advertisement, and kudos to our high school and guidance and curriculum for having such opportunities for our students who do want to go into education.
Okay. Thank you. All right, before community comments, just again, we'll reiterate what Dr. Trinkle uses on a regular basis on her, and for information, the mantra of when our students win, we win, and want to keep iterating that.
That's correct.
I think it's a great comment. So now, moving on, we do have just a couple of informational items. Number 14, conferences. Feel free to take a look at that list. And field trips. Visitor comments. I have none listed. Is that correct, Ms. Lobley? All right, great. And that's it. I'll take a
Motion?
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that motion carries. Thank you. We're adjourned. Executives.